Yeah, just really happy and proud of our guys. It's not easy winning, period, and to get two on the road, um, I'm just really pleased. It's not like we were perfect by any means in both games, but for these young guys to understand this early and the ebb and flow of games and just what a possession means. I think they're learning. I think they're growing. I think they're doing a lot of good things together. We made a lot of big plays in both games, game one and game two down here, inside 4 minutes. We were the team that made the plays. We made the shots. We got the stops. We got to the foul line. We got the big rebounds. And tonight we played in severe foul trouble. So this is all new for all these guys. And just really happy for them because I think one of my guys were telling me we're like the 12th youngest team in college basketball. So all these narratives kind of crack me up because I'm watching a game today hearing that they're the youngest. I've heard the team we just played is the youngest, and it's not even close. We are the youngest team in the Mountain West, and for us to have gotten 2 road games already and wins, that's great for our guys, and it speaks volume how hard they've been working. So very pleased with the effort we had down here in Lubbock.
Coach, what are your thoughts on Grant Sheffield with his career night that he had?
Yeah, and I thought Dez got off to a really tough start. I thought he was out of sync. Then he got out of sync defensively, got 4 fouls. So Grant was trying to manage a game where we had immense foul trouble. Trey Coleman with 4, KJ with 4, Warren with 4, Dez with 4. It just seemed like – so it was hard to get into any kind of rhythm with sub patterns because of the foul trouble. And that's not easy for a point guard. And yet then Dez came back and made huge threes in the end. And I thought Grant just ran his team. He gets to the free throw line 12 times, gets 28 and 8. I told him the dribble out there, the NBA move is to throw that ball to a teammate and the teammate gets the turnover. So he got a cheap turnover there at the end, but really had 8 assists, 2 turnovers. I just thought he ran his team, made big plays, and it was by far you could see that they were really keying on him. They were trying to double him. They were trying to get the ball out of his hands. I think he played 38 minutes the other night, and he plays 38 and a half tonight. So we had to do a good job and get him off his feet and rest him when we're home. But, he just had a tremendous weekend. And when you look at, I think, people up for player of the week, he's definitely going to be on that list because he averaged 24 and got 2 road wins and really handled the ball well for us, really ran the team.
Coach, sticking with Grant, what have you seen that's made him just so consistent in these games?
Well, I think, and Grant would tell you, he's really listening. He's always been coachable, but I think that's one of the things in transfers. It takes him a while to trust. I think it takes a while to trust not just the coaching staff, but trust teammates. And he's learning to do that. Remember, he's young. He's 10, 11 games into his sophomore year. I'm going to be a sophomore again next year with the new eligibility stuff. So that we're talking about a young point guard, and he's running a very young team. It's not like we got a veteran team. So there's been a lot of pressure put on him. And I think what he's done in the last week, he's really listened. And his ability to listen has allowed him to grow. And that's what young players have to understand, that part of coaching, part of teaching is not taking things personal. And this isn't Grant. This is all young players. You got to be able to understand that and listen. And then when you do that, you see growth. And I think Grant has really grown since that second half against Air Force.
Another notable highlight tonight was from Kane Milling, just shooting from beyond the arc. What are your thoughts on his performance tonight?
It was huge. And, we've been waiting on that from Kane, and he got some good minutes tonight. He got good minutes the other night. I watched film with him yesterday, and I was just telling him about being more aggressive. That doesn't mean take bad shots. Just have a more aggressive mindset. Be shot ready. Be play ready. Good pivots. Good attack off the bounce. Feed the post and hunt daylight. And I thought he really did a good job of being shot ready. And then Dez found him, I think, once. Grant found him the other times. And, that's where the trust is built. And give Kane credit because he hadn't been shooting the ball well. He really came up big. He made his free throws, and he's 4 for 4 from 3. And I thought he did a really good job defensively.
What do you think the differences was tonight compared to when you played Air Force? You guys came out with the first strong win. and then you fell to them in the second game. In this game, with a young team, they really grew in the second game. So what do you think the difference was in between these series?
Yeah, I just liked our demeanor. Even, we got up 13 in the first half, and I put on the board, we had 2:45 left in the half. And I'm like, hey, just bust your tail for a minute 40 here, and I'm going to get a timeout. But in that minute 40, we lost by about 5. And then in the next minute, we lost by about another 5. So we give up 10 in the last 3 minutes of the first half. And that was all we talked about at halftime. And then all of a sudden, we're up 5 with 4 minutes to go in this game, and we win that last 4-minute game 9-4. And so that tells me we guarded and we did the job of scoring when we had to score. So I just think there was growth. I think it's not so much looking – I don't think our guys looked past anybody. I just think they let their guard down in the second half against Air Force. Air Force punched them in the mouth, and they had nothing left. Tonight, I think our demeanor was much better through 40 minutes. Doesn't mean we played great basketball for 40 minutes and we didn't have ebb and flow of mistakes, but we played through those mistakes. And for a young team, to play through the foul trouble they played with was really impressive, because we had major foul trouble. Had to go to zone to try to protect a lot of them most of the second half, and yet they found a way to win. And I thought did a much better job on the backboard. We end up almost a dead even. We win by 1, but they went from getting 18 offensive rebounds to 11. So I just thought we did a much better job in a lot of different areas. And offensively, we got in a much better flow because we started making shots. We haven't made 13 threes in I don't know how long.
And Coach, with that severe foul trouble you had mentioned, how do you just relay that message to your guys of playing D without fouling?
Well, we just keep going over it. We keep meeting in films. We keep just trying the discipline that needs to go into guarding, the fundamentals of defense. You get in foul trouble. I'm a big believer. You get in foul trouble because you're out of position. If you're in good position, you don't foul. And so I think positioning is first and foremost, and then a toughness of being fundamental in how you guard your yard and then how you guard help. And it's going to be a learning process. And this team, New Mexico, they're as big drivers as maybe anybody in the league. They are a very aggressive dribble drive team, not a great shooting team, but a very good dribble drive team. And I thought game 1, we did a much better job guarding the dribble drive than we did tonight. We fouled way too much in both games, but I didn't like our fouling at all tonight. I thought we were out of position and we weren't doing the things that we need to do personnel-wise to them, of knowing who shooters were and who drivers were. I didn't think we were as in tune defensively like we should have been.
A tough road swing coming up, Coach, against San Diego State. Obviously, you know what they represent and what's at stake here. How confident do you feel after these last 2 wins going into that series going in?
Well, like I said, I think the last game, I was asked kind of a question of our expectations. We're just trying to get better. This is a team going through first time everything. We're going to have a vast majority of these guys, other than Zane, Kane, and Robbie. We're going to San Diego State for the first time. None of these guys have been there, and we know that right now they're the elite of the league. They had a tough loss tonight. Colorado State's got 4 of their 5 starters back. And I think Colorado State's a very dangerous team. And so, we know we're going to get an angry team. And but we're just, every test we get, every challenge we get, I want to try to see some growth. I want to see our guys as they experience these things, how they fight together. I thought we huddled up well today. I thought we were one. We weren't going in separate directions. We were more selfless today than what we've been against Air Force. So I thought there was some growth in those areas. So hopefully, next week, win, lose, or draw, I hope that, our guys are growing. And if we grow, if we go to San Diego and we grow, then we're going to give ourselves opportunities to be successful. I've got all the confidence in the world in these guys. It's just they're doing things for the first time. So we've got to be patient. We've got to do a good job as coaches of just continue to help and teach.